All pretty quickly. So this is a tier list for DT Productions music, also known as Game Dave. I'm Filbert. I've known Game Dave for a very long time, almost a decade now. I mod for him, and I'm friendly with him. So I just want to get this out of the way. This is not meant to be mean spirited. He's listened to all these songs on his YouTube channel years ago. He finds out I'm cringe. He does appreciate some of them, but this is all stuff you made in high school. So there is going to be some kind of high school angst, a little bit of cringe in there. We're going to be poking a little bit of fun at it, but this is meant to be in good spirited fun, not gonna be like super mean in any way. And I do think he did make a couple bangers. Now, that said, I think there are a couple in here that's like, yeah, I understand why you still kind of cringe at them now. I made, I spent time, you can't see them all because I'm covering some of them, but I went through and made icons for every song. So they aren't like, some of them are hard to read, but it, I didn't want to spend 2 hours doing all that. I do want to point out making music is hard work. You have to be talented because I do think when you make music, whether it's lyrics, no lyrics, you're putting a piece of your soul out there, especially when you share it for the world to listen to, judge, and poke and prod at. And that takes a lot of like bravery and confidence, or even if you don't have confidence, like that takes even more bravery. Just get all that out of the way, and we have, I believe it's 36 songs. We'll see if we get through them all. Now, with that all said, let me start with our first song called A Dark Night. And I do recall when Dave originally played this in stream, this was before The Dark Knight came out. It might have been before it was even a concept. If this is going from memory, Dave, I believe, is 37. I'm 34. So that means he should have graduated high school in like 2004, 2005. And I believe he said he made all these when he was in high school between freshman and sophomore year. And I think The Dark Knight was one of his earliest tracks. So most of these, if I'm correct, all of these should are probably 2002 to 2004 or 5 is when they're created. You can see his badass icon. There's something going with this. And most of these I have not listened to in years. Most of these I've only heard once. I mean, this is, I think right now this is looking as an A. Dave was cooking. A little bit of build up. Go down a bit. Now I don't know what that fucking horn is. Oh my. That's a little bit better. He pulled it back. Alright. I don't hate the idea, but oh boy. It's just about like halfway point I think who can rate it, but oh boy, no. They're slapping up the beat, as they say in Jersey. Dave's not too far away. Now I'm digging this like synth horn, then those like horns in that guitar. that horn just doesn't work for me. I like the little ending of this. If I recall, a lot of these songs just kind of end. No, that's a good ending. So that was A Dark Night. Now, as we about the halfway mark, I think that was an A. There were some choices where I think it drops down to a B. It's a tad raw. Dave needed to cook a little bit longer with that one. Um, I overall I did like it. Essentially, if it's a B or higher, it's something I would like to listen to, or I'm not going to. Is if you actually want to have these songs, listen to them. If you sub to Dave on Patreon or his Twitch, I'll have both linked below. So let's now listen to A New Reality. All right. This just has me on start going on like a jog. So far, not hating it. Like, I feel like this. That like higher pitched like keyboard is a little silly, but I was gonna say this feels like it could be like a fun little like background track in a video game, especially like an old no voiceover like RPG. Like the characters just got to a new town or city. There's a conversation going on. In The Dark Knight, I was not a fan of when he tried kind of these new things midway, but I'm liking that. And if it's not obvious, I'm not musically educated at all. Got like a bit of a flute thing going. So A New Reality, I thought overall, I think it was a bit. Again, I don't know like the proper like term or phrasing. I want to say like safe, like it didn't do anything that crazy, but I think it worked pretty well. I am gonna rate that as an A. Dave was cooking. I think a little bit of extra touch on that really could have brought it up, but for the most part, like I was vibing. Like I say, I could picture that being like a solid like background track. We get to A Promise to You. So a little bit of high school like love going on with this one. Let's give it a listen. Almost 5 minutes. All right. And again, I want to say I've listened to like 3 of these tracks more than once. All right. Where are we going with this, David? I don't even know what to think of this yet. I feel like we're building up still, but we're not. That build up was to whoever this is. I'm getting the feeling like he had some rhythm background stuff going on, and then he's just like, oh, and then he's just like, I'm just gonna start hitting some piano keys. I kind of feel like my audio senses are being assaulted right now. What is this promise? Is this like a love promise? Like I originally thought, is this like a friendship promise? Is this like a Suikoden, we're meeting back at this rock promise? Yeah, this part where like the chorus or whatever it would be of like an audio only song with no lyrics. Every song's audio only, but it's a song with no lyrics. I'm not vibing with this. Is the song dying? Is this its heartbeat going out? I think that's what it was. Well, my promise to DT Productions music is I'm gonna rate this where it belongs, and I'm sorry, not sorry. This was our first mistake. So again, if you want to buy these wonderful tracks, you can go to sub to Dave on Twitch or his Patreon. But now we are moving on to Can You Feel the Same? The piano's fine. It's just like the background. Oh. I'm picking up the melancholy. That piano though. That's saving it for me. Now that like higher pitched one, it just takes me out a little bit. And I feel like this like awing in the background just needs to be cut. Or it's like fine at the start, but it just keeps going. The piano playing though it's solid. I dig it. It's just like as soon as I'm vibing with it, I just hear that awing in the background. The guitar just kicked out the pianist. No, they're still friends apparently. So yeah, my thoughts are kind of the same. I do like how the song progressed, but this background just I don't know if there's a term for that, but that being throughout the whole song really kind of kills it for me. Like halfway I really wanted to love this song, and like that guitar coming in was really cool. I think fit well, although it was like just over the halfway mark, which was kind of weird. But I feel like Can You Feel the Same is gonna go to let's not listen to that for another 20 years. Mostly that awing just kept pulling me back, and I was not a fan of it. Now we're gonna move on to Can't Stop Judging You. All right. All right. I was ready to hate this off the start, but I just turned it around. I'm super digging this. I wish that was like for piano. That's like bells in my ears, and I don't like that. It's like too high pitched, too kingy. It's like it just is drilling into my head. Until those bells, wherever the hell that is, came in. This was tracking to be an S. If there's any song I'm allowed to judge, it's gotta be this song. One thing I'll give it to High School DT Production. He had a lot going on in all his songs. For better or worse, he committed to making these into like mini little orchestras, one-man orchestras. I like this part because I don't know what to think about it. And I don't know if that's actually a compliment or not. For a second, it's like, what the hell is this doing? I don't like it. And it's like, wait, it kind of pulled me back. And whenever I had that with media, music, games, movies, whatever, I think that's like one of the most interesting moments to have when taking something in. It's like, wait, I don't like this, but wait a second. So, Can't Stop Judging You. Again, at first, this was on track to be an S. I wouldn't change a thing, but I would change a couple things. First being kill that bell, make these into concrete thoughts. But I do think High School Dave was cooking. This is an A. I think getting rid of those bells and doing like more of a conventional piano and maybe a little bit of tightening up would get that up to an S. That's you're only gonna name a song like that if you're under 20. Now we move on to Clearing the Shore. That again, I don't know what the terminology is, but that like drone, it's a choice. It's a choice. I'll give him that. The rest of the song, though, I'm digging. But again, I feel like I think part of it's the nature of non-lyrical music. I know there's like different genres. There's that like clubby music. There's like techno. Obviously, like now dubstep. I don't know what you define this as, like just electronica music or something. So I don't know if this is part of the genre, but it's definitely in the first, 5 songs we've listened to. There's a lot of things that like just get added and just stay. Like that drum, like, oh my god, what the fuck is that? What the hell is going on, David? This is like the machine spirit fighting to break out. I feel like an angry robot is yelling to turn off the computer. This is my computer wanting me to turn itself off, stop processing this. Yeah, there it came back. There's a lot of things in these songs that I feel like would work if they're sectional, but they're just are over like the whole track. Like this was, there still is something going for this song, but whatever that noise is in that background, darn, it's just killing it for me. It's gonna end with that. It's gonna be the last thing I hear. All right. So Clearing the Shore. I was kind of looking at like a B at first, even a little bit of an A like at the start. But the fact that like twangy electronic sound never went away, and whatever that like angry piano was, that's going to a C. Let's not listen to that for another 20 years. We are getting to Climb to My Heart as our next song. I already feel the emotion in this. Good. It's a good emotion. Ooh. Ooh. I mean, sometimes you get a little bit of like heartbreak, teenage angst. And it's getting better. It's improving. It's not coming out of killer bells or angry robots. Now this is a song. And I mean that like in the best sense of that phrase. Now, not necessarily a complaint, but kind of going back to what I was saying earlier in the stream, there's a lot going on. It's like he keeps on layering stuff. And a lot of times that works. But sometimes, like, when you layer stuff, pull a rug out. Pull a rug out. We're really building. Holy cow. She has climbed to the top of your heart. Now what you see when she gets up there. Or are we just gonna stay up there? We summited. This is Everest. We're not coming down. We're gonna have oxygen asphyxiation. Screw it. I like the way this is tapering off for the ending. All right. Now, if that wasn't obvious, that's an S. That's a I wouldn't change a thing. Uh, Even like in the middle, when I was saying, it kept on layering, kept on layering, kept on layering. It then pulled all that out, kind of transitioned a bit, and then when it tapered down, like that worked. That kind of cringy title aside, I think we can workshop that title. That's one thing I would change, but that isn't about any of the melody or rhythm or anything of the song. I think we can touch up that title a bit, but that is our first S. That solid song. Immediate. Now, I do recall when Dave played the song, he talked about he had been working on the song. I believe said he had like one other friend who was really into making music like this, and they would essentially make music and like share it with each other. And there might have been a couple other people, and he was talking about this song where he just was like in the zone and just worked on this song and like did it all like in a day, like in one session. And then he was like struggling to come up with a title for it. His like friend was like, "Call it Complete Me Immediate," because like that's what he did, and it is a silly thing to call a song. I remember this was one of the songs we kind of memed with him on quite a bit, but a lot of it was the title. Oh my god, no, it wasn't just the title. It wasn't just the title. I'll be interested to talk to Dave will in the stream to see what he was listening to around this time. What was some of his inspirations? What is going on? And even when I'm kind of clowning on this, like, I'm not gonna deny I couldn't make something like this. Like, there's still talent here, but the song just makes me laugh. Which is a good thing. It's kinda might not be what you're going for. Be like the artist's intent might not be to make a comedy, but here we are. What is that? What is that? It's like a tickling me with the feather on the back. I feel like we have like 2 or 3 tones battling for the theme of this song. What is going on? At least you pulled the rugs out. We don't have 20 layers going. The thing that's getting me about the song, it's like there's things going for it. There are aspects I like, but if this song was a person, it would be a hoarder. It's like you walk into someone's house and they have like a collection of vinyls over here, and then they have like 4 TVs because they also work, but even though these 2 are super obsolete, and then you walk in and they have like 5 pan sets because they keep losing a pan and they just buy a new set. Like it's just like a hoarder of a song. There's so many different things that, like, not only are in the song, but they come and go and never return. It's like we're just walking through this like maze of music. Well, I say they don't return, but some of it apparently does. I was really hoping it would end with one final like from that girl. I'm stuck between B and C. I feel like it's C if we're going from pure like music theory, like what makes a good song. And this isn't it. That said, there's just something about the song that almost like memorizes me. It, like was a bit hypnotic. It just I don't think I could turn that song could be double the time. It could have just kept going and I'm gonna keep listening. I'm gonna hit that with a B. It's solid, a bit raw. I think something with that hoarding type of song, there's something you could do with that. I again don't think that was probably the intention, but I think there's a you can trim some fat, you can tighten some things up and really get something interesting. And again, if you want any of this wonderful music, sub to Game Dave at Patreon or Twitch. We're gonna move on to Difficult to Grow. Just jumping between the headphones. We got a phone going off. Gotta hold on for a sec. Hopefully that. I feel like that doesn't go away. I think I remember this one from stream. That goddamn bell phone. Why is it still ringing? Why? If you can't tell, I'm not. Whatever that like bell noise is not for me. Thank God it left. I wish I could have. Jesus, we're kicking it in high gear. I was gonna say, I wish I could have interviewed Teenage Dave. Holy cow. We're just up in there. That sounds like one of those like clappers that you have at events, like track meets. Someone just a fucking bell. I like to think if this was a band, there's one guy with the bell in one hand and the clapper. We need more clapper. This song needs to it needs to be over. This was a mistake. I'm just saying it now. That fucking bell, dude. And like, what is this? I don't even know what you fucking call that in the background. I like that. I like that. Not when that comes over top of it. I wish I could articulate myself better, but my brain is pouring out my fucking ears. Nothing needs to be said. It was all said in the song. It was all said by the song. Difficult to Grow is also difficult to listen to. I don't want to think about that song anymore. Let's move on to Fighting Blind. 420, dude. That's the issue. I gotta get fucking stoned before I listen to all this. Now, what is it expecting? Just based off the title. Put that in the background. We have a song here. Unlike the last one, we have a solid tune going. Picture this as like a fun, like, fight song, like a standard battle song. Like, when you go that high, I think that can work, but you can't just keep it there and keep, like, a couple notes, then you come back down. And this, I fully admit this might just be a me thing, but it's like this music, that all that is just like punch in the middle of my brain. This is like a bit like too sci-fi-ish. Like portions of it, and I feel like they clash a little bit. Getting really busy right now. It's just a lot of those goddamn bells. Now, blind fighting, I really didn't like that high pitched nonsense, but I do think that that's a solid B. There's quite a bit going there. I'm sure a lot of this is, well, all this is going to be personal and like bias for me, but aspects of this maybe a little bit more. I think a little bit longer, couple reworks. It could, I can definitely see how that improves. Now we have finally the answer. So I was gonna say it sounds like someone took a huge gulp. Don't know about that, like in the background. There's a little bit here. That like background, it's like a fluttering. It's like it's not like annoying like a mosquito, but it's like I had like a bird just like fluttering around me. So that like noise, it reminds me of like electricity, but it's made out of water. I mean, I think the answer is this is a rough draft. We need to go touch it up. I'm trying to pick up like a calling card of Dave's high school music is at some point he comes in with just like a tapered down piano, usually after the midway mark. Kind of like ground the song a bit. That water electricity, that's what I'm deeming that. So it's overstayed its welcome at this point. Now that's like high pitch. Like when I'm talking about high pitch, like I think this is fine. It like builds up its high, but it's not like the beat. It's not the rhythm, and it goes away. We're in between B and C. I think we're got. I don't want to. It doesn't make me feel good, David. It doesn't make me feel good to put songs in the C tier or the. When I put a song in this is the mistake tier, I do feel good about that. I'm not gonna lie. That those songs should never made it to light of day. But that being said, I don't like putting them in the C tier because there's something there. They're not offensive to me, but they're not good. We have Forever With You next. It's now kind of mystical. Like I'm kind of floating in an ether. Gives me that early PS2. Nice. Guess you enter a PS2. 100% quieter song. Definitely a slow burner. We're a minute in, and I feel like we're still just like in the build-up phase. I'm not really vibing with, but it might bring me in, but it's not like offensive or anything to me. It's like sometimes you need like that loading song or that just chill song that, weirdly enough, it's never gonna be like a song that you're gonna like play and listen to a lot. But it's just that like background noise song. It's definitely getting better as it goes on. I'm liking it more and more. All right, so that was Forever With You. I'm gonna put that in a B. I can see some people rating this an A. For me, I think I just wasn't quite vibing with it. I didn't have anything against it though, but It's just lacking. Again, I think it's a bit tad raw for me. It was just lacking just a little bit to like kind of solidify me with the song. And if you want to purchase any of this music, sub to Game Day. Now we're gonna get to Hunting the Soul. All right, if the bells aren't here, like we're at an A already. Slow down a bit, but we keep that rhythm, keep that beat going. Here come on the layers, which they're working right now. I don't feel like I have too much going on. Be able to appreciate all the song I want to appreciate, except just one aspect. Not bad, but caught me off guard. We're really building into a song, and the fucking bells are gone. The bells are gone. Oh, they're fucking back. I was just about to say, like, we had 3 minutes of music left. I was like, I might just trim out the first 2 minutes of the song and have a banger. Very video game-ish. At least to me. But it's in and out. The piano. Dave can jam on a piano. Now it's still high pitched, but that is way better than the bells. It's gonna end with the bells too. I was getting pulled in, like I wasn't even talking because it was pulling me in. It's like I was just like in the zone there for a minute. Oh my god, those bells, those bells. This is the hardest one for me to rank. I'm gonna say it right now that I keep calling them bells. I don't know if that's the right term. That's just what they sound to me is electronic bells. Those are in there. That's an S. Those are in there. That is not going to be an S. Wouldn't change a thing. I would cut those fucking bells out. Which makes me want to put it into A. Oh. I really want to put it into A. High School Dave was cooking. But I fucking hate those bells. And now, is that enough to knock it down to a B? How raw do those bells make that music? That I it's got to be an A. He was cooking. There was something going there. I can't stress enough how much I dislike those high pitched bells sticking around for most of that song, but remove those and you have a banger. Let's move on to the next, which is I See the Light in You. I'm digging it. And I'm getting like the vibes of a love song. But I'm getting the vibes of a good song. I do think a lot of these songs have like a background, whether it's like that long piano note being held in this one, or the songs I hated. What was it? Promise You Were Difficult to Grow with the stuff. I feel like there's a lot of times there's like just no breath. It's like I'm constantly. I mean, it's a song. There's always music going, but it's like I'm constantly being hit with the tone. There's not even that like millisecond of like we're taking the breath. Changing it up to like a SNES fighter. What? What is going on? go. We got something going here. All right, let's see how this tapers off. I'm feeling like that is a solid song. He is cooking. There's a couple things I didn't like. Again, those bells came back, but only for a short stay. They went away. Had a little bit of a vibe. Overall, felt good. Now we're getting to another cringy title. If only she were closer. All right, we're being hit with something different early on. Not much of a build up with this one. Kind of gets right into it. It's like one of the instruments is just like a ray gun. Someone's just like shooting next to the microphone. In that background, like, I don't know if you want to call it that drum, that low, pretty silent. It's like this is being made in a back alley with like a alien who crashed a spaceship. He's just jamming with some some street musicians, some dark alley in New York City. The front facing beat, I dig. Song is definitely transformative. Like, it's going places. It's not just digging its heels in, which most of this discography has been that, but this is taking it to another level. Ooh, I'm liking this low point like in the middle. Ooh, I'm digging that. I'm digging it. Oh boy, what are we about to get into? No, don't keep this going. No, I don't like that. It's like we're trying to like pull start a motor, but with music. And I don't know if laughter's the emotion we're going for, but that's the emotion we got. Only you were closer. It's gotta fall in C. I know that's 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 the tier that hurts me the most. Put these songs in, but it had a couple things going for it. But I I don't know if I ever want to hear that song again. At least for another 20 years. Now, if again I'm going from memory, and this is like 2 or 3 years ago when he's streaming some of these songs. He's doing it's usually a couple of stream. He was literally talking about doing backflips. I would want to say he had just learned how to do like backflips, and this was part of that skill, that process. Oh my. I'm already gonna say this is like early on. I'm getting this is like so bad it's good. There's something going here. That background is like again with this a lot of the songs that I'm not vibing with or like fully on board with. It's usually like whatever that background rhythm. It's just not it. Like I like a lot of what the song's actually doing, like title aside. The issue, it's like a lot of the background stuff like overpowers. Like it should be like, again, this is someone who doesn't make music. I don't know shit about music. I'm just speaking to like what I like and like my basic brain dead thoughts about it all. Like those background rhythms should be background, and I feel like a lot of this noise and music, like that, just keeps like punching its way to the front and overpowering what I really should be focusing on. It's like hard for me to focus on like this piano and some of these drums with that constant like punching up. Like I'm here, I'm in the background. It's like the neighbor under you with the broom handle hitting your ceiling as you're trying to listen to like tune. And getting a busy peak at the end of it. Again, digging all this. There's zero cringe in flipping for someone that Dave. I hope you were flipping for chicks in high school because I mean that had to be getting your attention. But that's a B. I think removing that like background like dun, 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 would have done wonders for that song. Let's move on. So we've been going for an hour and a half, but I'm feeling good. Let's keep this up. I'm wearing your colors. Seems way more serious than the title I was expecting. Here we go. Here we go. We're starting off strong. This is about as strong as one can start. Dave just did me that varsity jacket. I'm putting your colors on. I don't care you go to a different school than me. I'm representing. This song is. It's on fire right now. Let's hope the well doesn't get poisoned. We know some of these DT production tracks, halfway point, he likes to toss a surprise in. Not to give things away early, but this is coming off S. This is coming off, and we might have another S coming. Sounded like the little changes and stuff. I think are working. I keep getting worried there's gonna be a fucking bell coming, but no bells. That piano tone in the background, I think works, complements it. It's a lot better than like that opera being held. I'm wearing your color. It's an S. Couple minor things by. I know it says wouldn't change a thing, but we're not being 100% literal. Very minor things with it, but overall, like that is a solid song. I like it. Now we get to, I think, before we even listen to the song, this is a 4 out of 4 cringe. It might be. There's a few other late bloomers when it comes to the cringe title. It is by far, ironically, my favorite title, and it is "Kiss of the Blade." So this is one of the songs I have listened to a couple times, and a few like videos I've done, like some of the Game Dave Minecraft highlight videos. I've used this song in the background. I don't think I'm crazy about it. Definitely, again, going back, give me video game vibes. It's not like a bad song though. Title aside, there's stuff going in this. But I'm already gonna say it's definitely no S tier. Just, I can't help but laugh. Like, the whole context of the song, what he's doing, the title, the fact that he's like, 17 or something making this. It's just Kiss of the Blade. It doesn't. One of my friends who I play games with, he used to play with the guy that Chivalry, like the sword fighting medieval game from like 20 or from like 10, 12 years ago now. Always go to kill someone in the game and say, "Taste my blade." So part of me, this song just makes me think of that friend always talking about that guy. He'll just kill someone. Taste my blade. There's quite a bit going on. One thing I was going to say earlier is most of these songs don't follow that traditional, like, we have a setup. I know it's not a chorus because it's all music, but a lot of his songs kind of do have that format of they have, for lack of a better word, like a chorus segment, usually a chorus in the end. But all the segments are different. And that's why when you get to like that 2-minute mark, usually stuff changes up. Like right here, like this is all new. You always have like some change up, which is interesting. I don't know if that's what often happens with like electronic music. That is Kiss of the Blade. Again, I think that is a B. It's a tad raw. It just doesn't like catch me as much as I want to. Again, this is an S tier, ironically. Like in my heart, this is an S tier. This is a song um, that I am gonna be always incorporating. A lot of that is just due to its fucking title, "To Knotted Enchantment." Struggling to gather my thoughts about this. There's something here. Not to enchant, I was expecting a little bit more whimsical. Just like when they're slow like this, there's not a lot to say, and I have to kind of like take it and to kind of process it. I'm liking the second half more. I don't know about whatever's going on here. I'm not for this. I was liking it more. Like some of that Hoarder song moved in at the end of the song. Like I forgot what song that was earlier, but they got evicted. They knew not an enchantment. Not enchantment let them stay a couple nights. That became a couple weeks. They started a horde, and not enchantment just had to kick them out. Things started to get weird there. If I'm gonna be honest, that's a C. I think of the C's, it's the best so far, but I don't have any urge to listen to that. I was liking aspects of it, but for a 5.5-minute song, it was like a minute. I vibed with the rest I can just leave. Now we're gonna move on to letting go. All right. I'm trying to think of my emotions right now. Do I feel like the weight's being lifted off me, or I'm moving on? If I feel like I'm on the hunt right now. Again, we have no lyrics, so I kind of get hung up on these titles a bit. There's something going on with the song. So I feel like it's a long build up. Background's working. It's a tiny bit distracting for me, but I'm liking it. I feel like this should have came 45 seconds earlier. A minute earlier. I kind of get that, like, we built up into something that was closing. This is like the stage of grief. Whoever we're holding on to, we're fighting to let go now. This mid portion of the song. I feel like tone and theme is fitting the title. It's another song I'm liking, I'm not loving right now. It's looking like a B. Never saw it closing. So that was letting go. I don't think there's any cringe with that song. That's a 0 out of 4. But I think it's gonna be a B. Solid, but still a tad raw. It's one of those songs where it's kind of like I think it was Forever with You. Excuse me. There wasn't really anything big about it that I didn't like or that was like offensive or anything, but it's not quite cooking because it was just a bit bland. It it's nothing I'm gonna go to turn on to just jam to. Now let's move on to our next song, Life in the Orient. Again, one of my favorite titles of all of his songs. It's just something else. We're, we're seeing what got the title. It's very oriental, very Asian. Oh my. Please build into that. Ironically, please. It's not bad. Although that, I think, is... I don't want to say objectively bad, but I don't like it. Unironically, or ironically, I like it. What is that? In the Orient. Again, ironically, this is an S for me with Kiss of the Blade. Just the titles, the embarrassment. I remember Dave having reading the names and playing them. But this is a C. I don't need to hear that for another 20 years. Next, we get to a nice short one, Lighten the Load, just over 3 minutes. Again, like Super Mario Sunshine. Forget one of the levels. I think the hotel. Alright. Come on, you gotta turn this around. You don't have much time. improving. What? What? All right. The improvement just got smacked away. What is this noise? What is that water lightning's back? That what is no. What? No. I just it's like a mouse singing to me right now. Like if a mouse had just a talented voice, that's what it would sound like. That would not be something I'd want to listen to. Lighten the load was a mistake. I'm sorry. But well, again, I don't feel bad about putting in songs there. I'm sorry about that. We're back to Look in Front of You, another 420 song. Should is Dave secretly a stoner? Don't know if I like this or dislike it. Which again I think is a good thing. That usually doesn't mean you're gonna be an S, but that might mean you're cooking. I'm getting like some PS1 vibes, which I don't want. Not in this song. It's like I like this, but I don't like that the tone shifted. I like the drum. I think Dave needed to incorporate some more drums in some of these songs. Like the drum beat in the background right now, it's fire. I'm gonna put that in a B. It's solid, a little bit raw. There's aspects I liked, a few things I didn't like. I felt like the tone kind of shifted. Um, some of like the instruments worked, some didn't. We next get to New Beginning. Again, this was me naming the song. I would probably go with New Beginnings, but I'm no Dave Thomas music. Good start. It's like this is like a type of song that it's not quite for me, but I think it's good. I understand why someone else really likes this song. I by no means hate it. Like, I think Dave's cooking. Even if I don't think I'm not like fully jiving with this, I can recognize like this is right now like a solid song. Dave was cooking with A New Beginning. That's a fine, like good title, good song. Even though it wasn't quite for me, I can recognize a good song even if it's not for me. Now we get to Now Is the Time. 4 minutes and 1 second. What the fuck? What the hell is this? This is the worst song so far. What is this? What is going on? What? What is What's going on? I think I promised you I really disliked, but what is. That is. This is a mistake. I think that is the worst song, in my opinion. We're moving on to Old Times We've Shared, which it's improved a bit. I feel like it's going to go back to some of that intro stuff. It's getting better. This was looking to be a C. I think right now it's worked its way up to a B. Got a little bit of a build-up going. That guitar is back. I don't think that guitar works well. Like that. Again, this music just, it's never the same. It doesn't, other than like obviously like rhythm stuff in the background, it doesn't often repeat. And with that guitar. Old Times We've Shared. That's a B. That's solid. There's definitely some rawness to it. Needs a little bit more time in the oven. Now let's move on to Our Future Together. Coming off as a little bit of a teenage love angst title. Pretty good start. Like a lot of the songs has kind of this like retro, like SNES, PlayStation 1 vibes to it. High beat going in the background, but it's working. I'm not sure how I feel about this part. I don't feel as good about it. What is that horn? No. No, why'd he add that? Why'd he add the kazoo? Oh, why'd he add the fucking kazoo? Fucking sounding. Ooh, long fade out. That's the first song to like fade out. All of his other songs just like end, or maybe they've ended with like a doon 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 doon. That's like a full on fade out. Our Future Together, I think that's an A. Dave was cooking. A lot of it I liked, but it had a few things I would like to change. That kazoo thing definitely needed to go. Now we have Release the Theory. Nearly a 5-minute song, and you can hear Cassini whine. So far, I'm liking it. Giving me like some fighting vibes, fighting game vibes. I'm not, again, not stick too much or anything too much to the titles, but I'm not feeling like eerie or anything being released. I just feel like good vibes. I feel like good just workout vibes. I'm liking this part, even though it's part of the tempo change. It sounds good. Gonna speed back up. We're hitting another tempo change. I remember the song now. I just remember Dave listening to it in stream. It had that like low in my left ear. I think Release the Fury is an A. Dave was cooking. The tempo changes needed to go. Um, Probably the biggest like issue I had with the song. Other than that, pretty solid. To our next song, which is Save Your Dreams. That's quite a start. I think that this has something going for it. It's doing one of the things I'm not. One of my biggest criticisms for a lot of this music, it's like the background rhythm is just too strong. It overpowers the song a bit. So far, this is looking. It's between an A and a B right now for me. That background, the rhythm though, I think is gonna. It went away, thank God. Now it's just completely changed up. Listen to all these back to back. You guys mentioned it earlier. They aren't chorus, but he has like his chorus, and there's usually like two, maybe three, usually two, and a couple other segments between those. And none of the segments are the same. And sometimes that works for the song, sometimes not. But makes them all fascinating. You don't know what you're gonna get. Just that background rhythm, I think, is just what this late guitar, David. All right. So that was between an A and a B. And I think after listening to it, Dave was cooking with that one. My biggest complaint was through about three quarters of that song, that like background rhythm. It was just a little bit too strong for me. Now we're gonna move on to Sharpened Steel. We're I think I remember this one a bit now from stream. All right, just saved itself. I thought it was gonna get really bad with that hog in the background. This is working for me. Trying to slap up the bass, slap the beat. Now I think that like all in this works because he uses it like as a segment. It's not trying to carry or be the background. But whatever this is right now, it's not working. I'm thinking it's a B for me right now. I got like a bit of a vibe going. Just missing a little extra, and it has a few things in there like those high pitched tunes, and that like I don't know, that cartoonish one there in the center that just we're not working with it very well at all. So Sharpened Steel. Going with the B. Solid, a tad raw. Could use a little bit more time in the oven, but was a good listen. A song I would go back to. Let's. The unique start. Again, definitely like those late 90s, early 2000s, like electronic music vibes. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. This is what I'm talking about. He takes the music. All the songs just take their own path. Now this song is like, it just keeps taking like different roads. Kind of what you were saying earlier, Shadow. This one is again give me like, it's like 3 smaller songs that were close and kind of mushed together. Like a lot of his music, I'm gonna throw this in a B. It's a solid song. I think could use a little bit more time and refinement. Uh, but good. I didn't dislike it at all. The struggle begins. Now, going off the title, not the tone I was expecting. Like, the struggle begin. I mean, I guess this works as like a struggle as like you're getting to like a fight or a challenge. I was assuming more like the struggle like relationship. But that's right. 'Cause I don't recall all the stories. I talked about some of the stories to some of these songs when I spoke about them. But yeah, I feel like a couple of these were Jackie Chan inspired. Now that you say that. This is S or A right now. What's that coming in? We're working a new instrument into the mix. Which is always a risk factor. What? What? What is going on? This is ending strong. It needs to end at a peak. I don't want it to fade out, though. I wish it ended a little bit stronger there. But I think that's another S. And my camera just froze. But as I get the camera going, that's an S. Which moves us on to Us on an Island. I'm digging this. Again, Us on an Island comes off as a little bit teenage angst to me. Which doesn't speak to anything on the rating of the song. I'm getting a little bit like of an exotic feel. Alright. Finally just hit. I'm getting like a touch of like horror. Like, what show? Not that it sounds like it, but a little bit like Goosebumps theme music from the 90s show. Like that. It has like a tiny bit of sinister undertone. Yeah, it's just like, and like the chorus part, yeah, it's like a little bit, again, with the title and stuff, I was thinking something a little bit exotic feeling, maybe a touch of like romance expression. If anything, I'm getting like a little touch of like horror sinister. That little drum roll at the end. All right. Yeah, I'm sticking with the A. It it really didn't hit quite the peak it needed to get to an S. Overall, I liked it, but it just never quite hit the what I needed for an A. It was definitely one of his most interesting songs when it came to like a little bit of that horror undertone. Why aren't you mine? What is going on? I think the synth going on. All right, we just tempo change. I feel like it's just like someone just every playing the piano, and then every once in a while they just hit like all the keys. Choices were made. I feel like if it's trying to convey the confusion and frustration with loving someone who is not interested in you, it's conveying that. Now, whether that makes for a good song or not, it's something. It's something else entirely. Get some like guitar going now. Very lightly, like in the right audio track, there's like it's very hard to hear, but it sounds like almost like space sci-fi whimsy. It's very, very light, and it's only in the right track. Now there are a couple core elements I enjoyed when it came to the music. A lot I didn't. It didn't like offend me. I didn't feel like an attack on my audio senses. That is well and truly a C. We could go another 20 years without listening to that. Now we get to what is 100% a favorite of the community. Again, solely based on title. If the three top titled songs that are all S tier in my heart, even if they didn't reach S tier, are gonna be Kiss of the Blade, Life in the Orient, and coming up next, Why Was Band Made with Tear Ducts, which is borderline genius of a title. And this is for a cringe rating, no matter how good or bad the song is. That title's oh yeah, this is one I've heard a couple times. It's not good. It's an S in my heart, but I don't know if it'll be an S in the chart. It's I don't know what that instrument's supposed to be if it's supposed to be a drum or something. But it just doesn't sound good. Now that is a solid piano line coming in. It's like elements of this I can actually vibe to. Exactly. Yeah, it's like there's machine pounding in the distance. Like that is fucking killer right there. I unironically would love to hear Dave go through a couple of these and like give them a modern spin. Thing is, like when I a lot of this electronic music, like I'm not like earlier in the stream I was saying this, like I'm not like a big music nerd. I'm not like super gifted. I can't write music or anything. I don't understand all the terminology, but so when it comes to like a lot of like these songs, a lot of them are gonna always bleed together. Like it's hard for me to look at one of these big, oh, I remember what that song is. Or if you started to play one of these songs, I probably couldn't tell you what it was, but I'll give it to Why Was Man Made with Tear Ducts. As soon as this song starts, I know what song this is. I know this is Man Made with Tear Ducts. But yeah, Why Was Man Made with Tear Ducts? I'm sticking in a B. It's still raw. There's something there. I think you can make something out of that song. The most iconic of all of his titles. That's just something else. And that's going to get us to our last song. So after this song, we're going to listen to everything that made it into A. I'm going to rate what is the best song. Then we'll listen to everything that was This Is a Mistake and rate which is the worst. Finally, with a minute or 3 minutes and 15 seconds, You Are My Medicine. And again, to anyone watching this or the VODs, if you want to buy this fantastic discography, you simply have to sub to Game Dave on Patreon or Twitch. There's something going here, but those goddamn bells are killing it for me. And they're not gonna leave. They're gonna be in this whole song. These bells haunt me. There's a good song under all this ear-piercing, brain-melting bell ring. Just I can't really hear it. Ugh. Yeah, some of the earlier songs, it's the same way. At this point, I don't know if this is a C or a mistake. I think it might be a mistake, because it's like, even if you don't like the sound of them, they just overpower everything under them. It's just like they're at the top. The music's down here, and you... Got like some Sith coming in. Alright, yeah, this was a mistake. I don't know if I want to listen to that ever again. Alright, so that is my tier list. We have 3 S's, where I wouldn't change a thing. A couple A's. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, where I think Dave was cooking on something. B, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And essentially, at the start of this, I said anything that is B or higher is stuff I will listen to, that like I enjoyed, I would recommend. C, let's not listen for another 20 years, just kind of memeing there, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this was a mistake, we had 5. Which is going back to what I think a lot of us felt. Most of the music he made back in the day, I think, is solid. I think there are clearly quite a few stinkers, but welcome to music. That's every artist. Since we just listened to You're My Medicine, it made it, and This Is a Mistake, we'll listen to parts of these other 4, and I'm going to rank which I think is the worst, if memory serves right. But let's go back to A Promise to You. And this song, like, there's those bells, they're back, and there's so many layers, there's so many things going on. And it's like stuff just keeps getting stacked. And we're kind of jumping through this. Keep in mind, this is 5 minutes. But I just didn't vibe with that. So We'll do worst will be out to the right. I think You're My Medicine is definitely worse than I Promise to You. Yeah, that phone ringing goes on the entire goddamn song. That it like stops for like 30 seconds. It's not like good. Like what is this? What what is that? Like get back to the phone. All right. Difficult to grow. I think that's worse than You Are My Medicine. Now we get to lighten the load. Yeah. What is that? What? I was saying this was like a if a mouse could sing, this is what you'd get, and this is the best you could get, and the best is not good enough. Iron Cat. I don't. I think that's the best of them so far, though. Of the worst, now we're gonna get to now is the time, and so this is 4 minutes and 1 second, and I remember just hating this. It's like that's just trying to punch through the fucking song the whole time. You're trying to enjoy the song, but you just constantly just have the rhythm, the beat just punching through. And what is that? Now it's time to turn off the song is correct. It is between now is the time and difficult to grow. I'm gonna retract. I think difficult to grow is the worst because that phone ringing thing is just so intrusive. Climb to My Heart. So we'll play that one again, but we'll go through it quickly. Like I unironically am gonna throw this into like my rotation. So that's keeping number one spot. Now I'm Wearing Your Colors, which was another just solid song. But we just have like good vibes going here. Great piano comes in. And again, you have that like undertone, like that, those notes at the bottom. It's like they aren't overpowering because I think that's the biggest weakness to a lot of this music is like the rhythm overpowers the song a lot of the time. But yeah, whatever that part was, I was not crazy about. So Climb to My Heart will still stay in front of Wearing Your Colors because of that. And the final one, which we did listen to, The Struggle Begins. Let's refresh ourselves. You know, you have that come down and build up to the peak. Which I'm not crazy about those, but it works well. These pianos, I agree with you. I think this is the second best. I don't think it quite beats out Climb to My Heart, but it gets kind of fast and intense here, but yeah. So, and the rest, I'm not gonna do that with, but yeah, that is my tier list. I'm gonna post this in the Game Dave Discord. I'm gonna post the link to this tier list I made so other people, if they want to go through and make their own, hopefully people do. I think that would be a fun thing to do and get people to listen to some of his music. Because again, I think most of it is good. Of the songs, I really think there's only like 5 stinkers. But yeah, point being, like even the C, I think there's things to like about the songs, and I think some people their C's will be B's or A's or even S's. It's all subjective after all. But I do think the most of his stuff is solid. there's obviously that like fun aspect to poke around with some of the titles and stuff, especially in the context of when he made them. And yeah, I'll get all this shared out, and hopefully people in the Game Dave Discord take part. But yeah, catch you later. Have a good one.